Hari Om. Today is a very auspicious day owing to the Bhumi Puja at Rama Janma Bhumi, Ayodhya, the Janmasthan of Lord Sri Rama. We all know that Lord Sri Rama is a replica of Dharma. If we want to live the life of Dharma, we must know his life. If we want to know the eternity, if we want to know about the self, we must know about Lord Krishna. So here these two incarnations of Lord Sri Mahavishnu are very important for we Indians, and they are the soul for us. And here that's why the saying goes that Rama Vigrahavan Dharmaha and Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That means though Lord Rama is in the form of idol in every village, he is the replica of Dharma. And wherever we see the idol or image of Lord Krishna, immediately we feel that he is the God himself. It's not saying the God himself, but he himself proved a number of times, showed a number of times by his Virat Rupam and other many times that he is God. He extended up to the galaxies. And coming to Rama, Lord Rama, he was born as any of other human beings, just like us. And though he was born as a human being, how he lived his life to become a Madhava. So he felt all the delicacies and the sufferings of human beings. He even shed tears. He is an embodiment for compassion, for intellectual abilities, for honesty, for truthfulness. And his compassion was so much that he paid tributes to Jatayu, though it's a bird. His personality was expounded, and it is a path to all the human beings, not only Indians, not only in India, but to the entire humanity. And that's why everyone say that we want Rama Rajyam. In Rama Rajyam there are no atrocities. So in Rama Rajyam there was peace. People lived happily together. There was sharing. But how he grew to be Madhava. So though he was born as a Manava, he became Madhava. He was not Madhava. He became Madhava. That means he became the divine himself. So that means he showed that being born as a human being is nothing. Only when we live out the life of that, life of Dharma. So how we must respect people, how we must respect father, how to show love and affection to brothers, how to respect mother, how to respect his people as a king. So what are the duties of the king? So everything he showed. And there are so many instances that he loved his brothers so much that many a time he even lost while playing games, so that he wanted to see the joy in the eyes of his brothers. It was said so. And in the same way, when he was walking in the forest, Dandakaranyam, so every tree, every leaf, every branch, It bent towards him just to touch him, it seems. So that's why he was called Ajanubahu. Ajanubahu, Ajanubahu, Aravinda Dalayataksha. So his eyes were like lotus. He was very tall, very handsome, that every rock also peeped. It came into his way so that he would bend and touch the rock or stone and put it aside. And here he never disrespected anybody. He had much noble qualities. Though he was an incarnation of Lord Srihari, he listened to his gurus. So Viswamitra, he asked him, though he knew which path he must trod, he asked his guru which way he was to go. So that was his humbleness, that was his nobleness. So when he was going at the back of Viswamitra, so to protect the Yagam, Rama and Lakshman, both of them, they were walking in the front, and Viswamitra was walking behind them. At a place when two roads diverged, two paths diverged, he at once stopped there. And then Viswamitra, his guru, asked him, why he stopped? Then he said, so which way we must go? So though he knew which way he had to go, he never showed pride. He asked his guru, he turned back and he asked, which way we must go, you please tell us, so that we will go that side. So at that, Viswamitra, he was so happy. His heart was filled with ecstasy, with the devotion showed by his disciples. And then he said, Esha Panda Maharshesi. Esha Panda Maharshesi. All the Maharshis, they trod this path. And he did not tell Rama to go trod that path, but he just informed that this path, all the Maharishis, they trod and they became so great personalities. With that, Rama and Lakshman, both of them, they trod that path and they became such a great personalities. And now, coming to the point, so after some decades of looking forward for the construction of Rama Mandir in Ayodhya, the native of Lord Sri Rama, now the time has come, and this day is to be written in golden words in this era. And we are very fortunate that we are able to glance this one, that's Bhumi Puja, where the orchard robed people, the sannyasis, the Sant Purush, Mahapurush, they attended. And on seeing the orchard robes, our minds are filled with holiness. The minds became so pious. We are filled because they are piety people. And we also have become so pious, and we could not even control the tears on seeing so many sadhus and Sant Purush attending to this ceremony, the great ceremony of this era. And we must be very thankful to all the people who have sacrificed their lives for this great day, for this great D-Day to come true, to make the dream come true. And now here, on this auspicious day, we only just say this Rama mantra. So how this Rama mantra came, the word Rama. Actually, their saying goes that in Valmiki Ramayana there are about 1 crore of words, and in that 1 crore, the Lord Shiva he distributed to demons, to devatas, and human beings equally. And then only after distributing, 1 crore was left. Again he distributed. Again 1 lakh was left. Again he distributed 33,000, 33,000, and 33,000, and only one word was left. and that one word was Rama. And that's why Lord Shiva, he always be in that ecstatic state of dhyana,